Okay. Okay. So first, what's the purpose of variables here means name of the memory location. So what's the main motto here? To give the name to the memory locations. For example, I need to store some data in my computer memory. Okay, is it clear? So at that time, what we are going to do, we are going to assign some name to that memory location. Okay, for example, you are living in your village or somewhere or in your home, you are going to have some address, right? Or there will be some name for your village, there will be some name for state. Like that, we have variables to give names to the memory locations so that we can identify, okay, the data is stored here with this name, this data is stored here with this name. Like that, we can identify. Okay, so the main motto of variables is to give name for the memory locations. Okay, for example, I want to store data or a value of 10 in my memory. So at that time, what I am going to do, I am going to assign some name for that value 10. Okay, so that name nothing but our variable. Okay, for example, I want to store 10. Okay, for that what I gave the name as A. This is A is nothing but my variable. Okay, think everyone know the basic idea on programming language. But just for our understanding, I am discussing this basics topics as well. Is it clear what's the purpose of variable here?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to understand, my value 10 is stored with the name A. So for our understanding, okay, we are assigning the names. For that example only I told, you are living in some area. For that you have some address to identify. Okay, the particular person is living there. We are with which we are going to identify with address or with name, with that girl name or with her father name or with her address or with her village name. Like that we are going to identify, right? So like that, here if we want to store some data, we are going to assign some name so that we can easily identify the data. Okay, is it clear? Guys, please respond. If you won't respond, I won't continue with the
Okay.
classes. Because if you have any doubt, you the guys need to ask me, right? Okay, then so see, this A is nothing but name or variable, and this 10 is nothing but some value. Okay, and whenever we are going to store some data in our memory or in CPU, there will be some address for that. Okay, so the address will be like this, some with the digits or with the alphabetics. There will be some address. Name is different. Name is we are going to assign, and this address will be assigned by the memory internally, so that will be for memory understanding, not for our understanding. Okay, you are there. Okay, for example, Manasa, I'm Manasa, right? I'm living here. So Jeff, what is my name? My name is Manasa. To identify where I am, there will be some address like door number, village number, district, pin code, like that. That will be my address. So like that, for this name and value, there will be some address for us in memory. Okay, is it clear? To get the address, we have one inbuilt function in Python called id. Id of that, if you give the variable name, you will get that address. Okay, so what's the main thing here? Variable name, value, and then address. Okay, this is nothing but variables. So what's the main purpose of variables? To give name for the memory locations. Okay, this is about variables. I will continue the class, and at the end of the class you can ask your doubts if there are any doubts. Okay, I will continue the class. Then data types. So normally what means by data types means just to define what kind of data we have. Okay, now if we come to human beings, we are going to identify, right? Okay, those are females, those are males, those are the third gender, like that. So here, in like, what's the main purpose of data type means to define what kind of data we are storing. Okay, to define what kind of data we are going to store. So we have different kinds of data types. First one, integers. Okay, integers is nothing but combination of 0 to 5. There can be positive or negative, but without decimal. Okay, see, I don't have any decimals here, 1, 2, 3, or negative value. That should be without decimals. Okay, we have some decimals, right? For example, if I divided 3 with 2, I'm going to get 1.5. If I am going to divide 4 with 2, I'm going to get 2. Means without decimal. So those things we can consider as integers. Okay, in Python, for that integers type, we have int. The type called in Python is int. Okay, then we are going to float. Float is nothing but that there will be positive or negative and combination of 0 to 9. But what the thing here, we are going to have the decimal. Means with the dot after that, there will be some numbers. Okay, this number also, like 1.0 also, we are going to consider as float only. Okay, this is another data type in Python. One is integers, one is float, then string. Group of characters enclosed within single quotes or double quotes. Even if you wrap your digits or numbers into a double quotes or single quotes, that's going to be a string. Means what we are going to do here, we are combining a group of characters and we are enclosing with double or single quotes, so that it's going to consider that as a string. See here, 1, 2, 3, I've wrapped inside double quotes. So what it means, that is a string. If we didn't use that double quotes or single quotes, that will become integer. Okay, so whatever characters or whatever alphabetics, whatever it be, whatever numbers, if you are wrapped inside double quotes or single quotes, that's going to be a string for us. Okay, that is one data type in Python. Okay, integers, float, string, then boolean. Okay, we have some questions in English, right? Like yes or no. So like that in Python, we have one boolean type that should be have only two values. One is true, one is false. If the condition or if then any value is true, we are like how to say, if that is yes, we are going to consider that as a true. If that is no, we are going to consider that as a false. Once we enter into the programming language, we can see where we can check this true or false, where we can get these values, like that. Maybe some conditions we are going to include, right? So at that time we can analyze, okay, this is true, this is false value, like that. Okay, and there will be one important question for interviews. Okay, what is the only data type that doesn't support in Python? Remember, what is the only data type that doesn't support in Python? That is nothing but char, character. Normally in Java or C or C++, we can store a string, or if we want to store a single character, we are going to consider that as a char type. Char type. If there is only single character, but in Python, if you even take a single character, that's going to take as a string only, not as a char. That is the only type that doesn't support in Python, char type. Okay, I already give the answer. Okay, and if you want to know the type of data that you stored in a variable, okay, so see here what I did. I stored some value in this variable a. When I try to get the type of a, that will give you the what kind of data we are going to store there. Sorry, so let me show you that as well. See, now I have 1, 2, 3. Can you the guys what tell me what type of data this A has?
Your screen is not visible, Mansa.
Is it? Is it visible now?
Yes, Manasa.
There is a lot of lag in your voice, Sirisha. Guys, I think we already discussed. Can anyone tell me what kind of data this A should have?
Int, ma'am.
Int.
Integer type.
Integer.
Yeah. So whenever you are going to check the what kind of data the variable has with this type function, it's going to give you output like this. Okay, the class and then the type. Okay, the same thing if I wrap inside double quote, what it should be?
String.
String.
Yeah,
String.
even we told, right? If we have a single character, it's going to take that as a string type. See, that's why the char is the only data type that doesn't support in Python. Just remember, in some interviews, you can get the question. Okay, is it clear? So to check what kind
Yeah.
of data we are going to store, we have one function called type. Okay, and we already have one function called ID. What's the purpose of the to get the address? See, I got some address for that variable. Okay, means the value C is stored in this address. Like that, we can identify. And what should be the name? The name should be A. Okay,
Okay.
okay. And one more feature we have in Python. Normally, when it's come to data type in Java RC, what we are going to do? First, we are going to declare the data type int A equals to some 1, 2, 3 like that, or if it is a string str c equals to some string value, like that we are going to do, right? Normally in Java RC. So here what is the advantage here means we no need to specify the type. Okay, based on the value assigned to the variable, it's going to take the type. Okay, is it clear? So for that purpose, we are going to call Python as a dynamically typed language. One more interview question you got here. What's meant by dynamically typed value? So whenever we are going to create a variable or whenever we are going to assign a value to the variable, we no need to specify the data type. Based on the value assigned to the variable, it's going to take the type. So that is the reason why we are calling Python as a dynamically typed language. Means whenever you are going to assign a value to the variable, based on the value, it's going to take the type. So you no need to specify the type. Okay, is it clear? What is a dynamically typed language? So two questions you got today.
Yes.
Okay, and in Python we have one more feature called multivariable assignment. Okay, multivariable assignment. So just I'm comparing with Java and C and I'm explaining. Normally, if we need multiple variables, what we are going to do, line by line, we are going to declare like some C equals to, some B equals to, like that, right? Normally in Java or C. But in Python, what we can do is if I want B comma C, 1 comma 2 comma 3. See, now for A we are going to assign 1, and for B we are going to assign 2, for C we are going to assign 3. And here remember, so the number of values should be equal to the number of variables. Okay, if I have here 3 variables, then I need to assign 3 values here. If I have 2, I need to assign 2 here. Okay, I took 3 variables and assigned only 2 values. So at the time, what you are going to get? Not enough values to unpack, because I took 3 variables, but I gave only 2 values. Here you can get. And if you have only two variables and if you assign three values, see, too many values to unpack. So what's the thing here we need to remember? So number of variables should be equals to the number of values. So here just what we are doing, we are just reducing the lines of code. Instead of assigning values to these three variables in three lines, we are just assigning in single line. Okay, understand what is purpose of multi-variable assignment. First, we are going to reduce the code. That's it. Is it clear? This is one more feature in Python, multi-variable assignment. Okay, so they will ask you maybe sometimes, okay, if I took two variables and assigned three values, what should be the output at that time? If they ask you, you need to tell too many values to unpack, some value error we are going to get like that. Okay, clear guys?
Yes.
Please respond. Okay, this is one feature. Hmm, okay. Is it clear, right? How to know the type of data stored in a variable? Okay, and to that type function we are going to pass one parameter that is nothing but the variable name for which I want to check the data type. Okay, and then we have type conversion. For example, I have integer data. If I want to convert that to string, what I need to do? Like that. So here we have three functions. One is int, one is float, one is string. These are inbuilt functions. So this int function is used to convert the data to int, and then float is used to convert the data to float, and then string is used to convert the data to string. Okay, understand guys?
Yes, Manasa.
See, I have one, two, three. Print string of a. So here I converted that to string. Just to check for our understanding. See, first time I declared that as integer. That's why I got the type as int. So next time what I did, I convert that to string. And when I check then the type of the data in A, it's giving me string because I converted that. Okay, but remember one thing, string we can't convert, how to say we can convert, but few things we can convert. So see, invalid returner for int. So this if you have characters in a string, you can't convert it. Okay. If you have characters in a string, you can't convert that to int or float. But you have only numbers so that you can convert them to integers. Okay, from string to integers, I am telling. If you want to convert a string to integer, then the string must and should need to contain digits, combination of 0 to 9. If you give any character other than that, that won't take. Okay, you are going to get value error. Is it clear? So this is type conversion. We can convert float to integer. So this is my float number. I'm converting that to integer. Sorry, integer. First time the what is the type of data in A is float. Then next time I'm converting that to int, so that I got here the type as int. Okay, this is type conversion. Okay, is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes, Mansa.
Yes, Mansa.
Okay. Want to stop sharing? Okay, any doubts?